We've been following some breaking news this morning as Knoxville police say a 16-year-old girl was shot in East Knoxville.
Yeah, this happened late last night. Police say officers responded to a home on Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue just before midnight. Now, the girl was taken to UT Medical Center. She is expected to be okay. Police say the suspects opened fire on the home from the streets. The girl was inside when she was hit. Knoxville police are continuing the investigation. We'll have new information as it's released on Local 8 News this morning and local8now.com. Also new this morning, Knoxville fire crews on the scene of a business fire in South Knoxville. Dispatch tells Local 8 News the fire broke out on Martin Mill Pike near Blount Avenue. Yeah, that's at Vol and Beer's Bar and Grill. Fire officials say the building is now vacant and for sale. No one was injured in the fire. Martin Mill Pike is closed while firefighters work to put the fire out. Well, the anticipation ahead of Saturday's game against the Aggies is overwhelming. Ball fans only have one big concern now: which team will show up in the first half? More coverage of the game coming up. First, though, your Thursday morning eye-opener. Well, more than 100 East Tennessee, World War II, Korean, and Vietnam War veterans traveled to Washington, D.C. yesterday to see the memorials built in their honor. It's Honor Air Knoxville Flight 22. It returned last night to such a warm East Tennessee welcome. There they are returning, and also on that flight, 3 women who worked in Oak Ridge extracting uranium used to make the atomic bomb. They say they had no idea how much their jobs meant to the country until well after the war was over.
I think we contributed a great deal to the end of the war, but I don't feel that we experienced all the terrible things that the veterans did.
The women were called Calutron girls because their job was to help extract the uranium from the ore that went into making the atomic bomb. In sports now, lots of Vol fans gearing up for the big game this weekend at Texas A&M. It's a game that fans are hoping that the Vols can actually come out quickly out of the gates this time instead of waiting to the second half like they have been. Kicker Aaron Medley, punter Trevor Daniel, and head coach Butch Jones were down at Calhoun's on the River last night for the Vol Call program. Well, certainly one of the first questions brought up to the head coach is, will the Vols finally break that habit of waiting to the last minute to pull out the win? Another hot topic, as you might imagine, the catch, which saved the day against Georgia, that Hail Mary, a play that I'm sure we're all going to be talking about for years to come. Coach Jones also broke down a difficult opponent in Texas A&M. We've got the game for you Saturday afternoon right here on WVLT. It's the 3rd straight week Tennessee will be on the CBS SEC Game of the Week. The Tennessee-Alabama game will make it 4 straight. Now, no team has ever done that before. We're also going to have live coverage right after the game right here on WVLT.
I studied chickens in college. Yeah, man, for real. Over here, chicken coop, man. Man, I love chickens, man. Chickens are dope.
Do you recognize that NFL star? Yeah, that's Von Miller from the Denver Broncos. He actually owns a chicken farm. Yeah, can't make this up. Football player, dancer, chicken farmer. At 6:45, we'll tell you how the Super Bowl MVP became so passionate about farming. Also coming up, a special guest from Crystal joins us in the kitchen this morning. We'll tell you why at 6:14. And you're going to get a live look at the roads outside. We'll be checking in with Pete Michaels coming up at 6:13. That's just about 3 minutes away. It is 6:10 on this Thursday morning. Mike Pence basked in the limelight yesterday, as did his running mate. Donald Trump said Pence kept his cool through 90 minutes of incoming fire in that vice presidential debate. And Hillary Clinton is home in Washington, D.C., getting ready for Sunday night's presidential debate. It's a town hall format with an audience of undecided voters asking some of the questions. You can watch the debate right here on WVLT beginning at 9 o'clock. Well, concerns are now growing that hackers could try and affect this year's presidential election. A Department of Homeland Security official says 24 states have asked the department's help regarding their election systems. Now, the official also says there have been 20 attempted hacks on voter registration systems nationwide. FBI Director James Comey testified before Congress that hackers are trying to get inside registration systems, but he emphasizes that no information has been changed or is at risk right now. Investigators suspect Russia is behind the attacks. And you can cast your vote in just 2 weeks. It's coming up quick. Early voting opens October the 19th in Tennessee. But if you haven't already registered to vote, that deadline is coming up October the 11th. And we're still following an overnight shooting in East Knoxville. What we know coming up at 6:30.
And a UT student fails a quiz for writing an inappropriate answer.
Sarah Jackson.
Really want to go to the Texas A&M game this weekend, but you just don't have tickets.
Yep. There's a word for that feeling that we're all having, that people who aren't going to the game. It's called FOMO. Do you know what that means?
I do now, yes.
Did you know what it meant before?
Probably not, no.
It's fear of missing out, a.k.a. FOMO. Hundreds of Vol fans are heading to College Station to watch the matchup in person this Saturday.
All right, but there are thousands of others experiencing FOMO because they can't make the trip there.
Sure.
Have to be, right? Worried about winning this weekend? Well, some fans say even if the Vols lose, it'll be okay considering they've already won over Georgia and Florida. I don't go with that.
I don't go with that either.
No.
I want to win. I think we should always, never expect or be okay with a loss.
Absolutely, and that includes this game against Texas A&M on Saturday, 3:30, right here on WVLT.
Now, officials say the 6,000 tickets allotted for UT fans, hey, they're already sold out. So at this point, watching it on your TV really is your only option there. Well, the Big Orange continues to make history. When Alabama comes to town next week, that'll be the first time ever that one team has been the CBS and the SEC Game of the Week for 4 weeks in a row.
Well, if you're not going to be at Neyland Stadium for the Alabama game next Saturday, the 15th, a week from this weekend, we'll have that here, WVLT, and again, the kickoff is at 3:30. This year's success.
And another area college also raking in the cash. Pellissippi State Community College landed a huge federal grant recently. The government plans to give Pellissippi $1.9 million. That's going to go to establishing a new Center for Teaching Excellence. At the center, faculty members will train on the newest and best ways to teach. The goal is to create stronger students through stronger instructors.
Stretch of road, nothing new, but if you put the wrong answer on a quiz at school, you'll likely get points taken off. But what if your instructor thinks the answer is inappropriate?
Well, a UT student says he got a failing grade for unknowingly writing an inappropriate answer. And his instructor claims it's sexual harassment. Local 8 News anchor Marco Villarreal is digging into this story that really has a lot of people talking. Now, we did try to reach out to Keaton Walbon, but haven't heard anything back from him yet. The university did tell us that they are aware of the issue, and the Office of Equity and Diversity, which handles Title IX compliance, is looking into it. Well, it's been said that a dog is a man's best friend, but one pug in Indiana proved to be a whole lot more than that when he saved his family.
Now, listen to this story. Their home was about to go up in flames, and that's when the pug saved the day. Now he's being honored by his local fire department. Jackson's the pug's name. Noticed sparks coming from an outlet inside the family's home there.
Well, caught on camera, a moose on the loose, and no, it's not another Dr. Seuss book. This actually happened in North Dakota yesterday. You can see the moose wandered into a mall parking lot.
He just wanted to kind of lay around, do his own thing. They wouldn't let him, though. Police say tranquilizing the animal wasn't an option because they feared the moose would become agitated and didn't know how long it would take for the tranquilizer to take effect. But eventually, he got away to do his own thing.
I'm surprised by how large he is.
It's a big moose, yeah.
What would you do if you saw a moose just running through, the mall here?
In East Tennessee, it'd be a bit bizarre, to say the least.
I wonder if in North Dakota that just happens.
We have black bears here.
Yeah.
Not, is it mooses? I guess it's
meese. It's meese.
We'll say that. All right, we took you live to Stars Hollow yesterday, the fictional Connecticut town, which was featured in the hit series Gilmore Girls.
The Golden Roast on UT's campus, along with more than 200 other coffee houses nationwide, transformed into Luke's Diner ahead of Netflix's release of a Gilmore Girls premiere in November.
You guys ready to go, Luke?
Well, a Super Bowl MVP turned chicken farmer.
That makes sense, doesn't it?
Makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah, the natural progression of things. Well, that's coming up ahead.
As we go to break, the Giants win 3-0 in a wild card elimination playoff game. They beat the Mets last night, and they'll move on to take on the Cubs starting tomorrow.
Yeah, check out those moves. You might remember us showing you this video last year of Von Miller. He tried, but he just couldn't resist the urge to get down to Michael Jackson's Thriller, and you really can't blame him.
Oh, he let it go, didn't he? He's got the choreography locked down. Pretty impressive dance moves from the NFL star. That video shared just about a year ago this month, and as we all know, he and Peyton Manning, among others, now have their Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, he's still playing outside linebacker for the Denver Broncos, but something else about Von Miller that you may not know, he's a chicken farmer.
Man, I'm not even gonna lie, man.
Maybe the most fascinating man in the world. He just really does it all. His farm is in his parents' backyard outside of Dallas, and Miller says he names a lot of his chickens after who else but his teammates.
And yes, we're told one of the chickens is named Peyton. All right, he says he's making the move to commercial farming and wants to humanely raise healthy chickens. When he was asked about chasing them for training like they did in the Rocky movies, he said he's tried it, but he is okay just chasing quarterbacks instead.
What would you say your trademark is if you have one?